Okay, today on Dave's Cooking Show, we're doing something we rarely do. Bake. Alright, as you can see here, I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour in my bowl. Now, we're going to dump a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder in that motherfucker. I'm going to fiddle fuck around with the oven to get it up to 350 degrees. I'm also going to add a teaspoon of baking soda, a pinch of salt. And then we're going to mix this around to make sure everything is nice and well incorporated. Alrighty, time to add the quote-unquote wet ingredients. What you've got here is a stick of butter. Yep, 1 whole stick of butter. Who the fuck says this is a light dish? Then you're going to want to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Just a teaspoon. And you're going to need 3 eggs for this recipe. 1, 2, 3. And last but certainly not least, you're going to need a 1/2 cup of sour cream. I don't know why you need it, but you need it. Oh, I also forgot. You need a cup of sugar. Don't forget the sugar. Don't be a bitch. But yeah, last ingredient, 1/2 cup of sour cream. Again, I don't know why you need it, but you need it. It makes this delicious. I don't question these things. So, after mixing at a fairly high speed, I know I forgot to mention that, but this is what you're looking for. This is the batter. And last thing to do is to add a cup of dark chocolate chips. And you're going to want to stir this around by hand. Why? You just can't use the mixer. For whatever reason, KitchenAid mixers pound chocolate chips into powder. So, yeah, just give that a couple of stirs around, and we'll be ready to put this in our pan. This is important unless you want to have a fucking headache when this is done. You want to wipe the pan with veggie oil. And then unhook your bowl from the mixer and just pour the batter in. Try to smooth it out as even as you can. Give it a little old tap or the tap drop. You know, put the thing about 3 inches from the counter, above the counter, let it drop. It'll even out. You want a nice, even loaf here. And then you want to bake for 1 hour at that 350 degrees we were talking about. And you want to bake this until you can put a toothpick or a knife or a whatever into it and it runs clear. Now, this does get to be a little tricky because if you just see nothing but chocolate residue on it, it's done. You just don't want to see any batter residue, and in this, that can be a little tricky. So I'll see you after an hour. So after an hour, that's what we have. And that is double chocolate bread. Done. And to be brutally honest, this was actually pretty good, but I didn't know what to classify it as. It's not quite bread, it's not quite a brownie, and it ain't quite cake. Whatever this is, it is its own thing, and it is delicious. So try this out and make sure you enjoy.